there, future teacher. Looks like someone has a teacher's interview coming up real soon. And if that's the case, then let me tell you, this video is going to be absolutely helpful to all you guys out there. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel S Chemistry. My name is Sonal and today's video is going to be a dedicated video to all the future teachers out there who are preparing for an interview coming up real soon. Last time I had made a video on lecturer interview questions, like a preparatory series for a lecturer's interview. I will put the link down below, and that video is doing really great. So I thought, why not have a similar one, but this time we will focus on a teacher's post. So with that being said, let's get started. So today I'm going to share with you all 7 questions which you all can consider if you all are having a teacher's interview real up soon, and plus at the end there will be one bonus question which can actually be asked in 2 different ways. Okay, so I have my list ready up here. I am obviously going to read out the questions and then we will have a short discussion on each of the questions. Okay, now the very first question, and please let me tell you, since I make videos related to chemistry, but this one is not related to a subject. Okay, this is in general if you are going to attempt a teacher's interview. So at school level, that can be in science, that can be in maths, English, language, anything. Okay, so these are nothing technical, nothing related to subject. Okay, in general, what questions you all can expect at an interview which is for a teacher's post. Fine. So the very first question, this is the question for almost all the interviews, which says, tell me something about yourself. Okay, now how do you actually essentially convert your answer in favor of your teaching position is that whenever any panel member asks you to give a brief introduction, they will always say, like, give us a small introduction of yourself or briefly introduce yourself to the members of the panel. Okay, so you need to keep it short, but it has to be informative. Okay, so obviously I have also discussed this in my previous videos. You tell them your name and you give them your qualification details. Okay, a little bit of your hobbies. Okay, but nothing like major. Don't like keep dragging your hobbies over there because that is not required. Majorly your qualifications and experience if you have any. Okay, now if you're going for a teacher's interview, fine, what you can include in this particular answer is why do you want to become a teacher. Okay, or why are you passionate about teaching. Fine, what will happen is that if you include this particular answer into your introduction, basically they won't be again asking you why are you interested in teaching, or why do you think you can become a good teacher. Okay, so try to incorporate your passion for teaching into your introduction as well. That should work much better. You're going to save some time, plus they won't again ask you like why are you interested in teaching. Okay, so definitely you'll have to have an answer ready. This question is absolutely important over here. That is, why are you passionate? Okay, or what made you choose teaching as a full-time career. Okay, so you need to have an answer ready for that. Fine. Now second is describe your teaching style. Okay, when we talk about a school teacher, we talk about kids, right? And it is very important that every day as a teacher, when you step into a classroom, you need to have a plan, you need to have a vision. Okay, and that plan has to be by considering each and every student that you have in the class, right? So describe your teaching style. Okay, so if you are an experienced person, obviously you'll have like an answer based on your previous experiences, but if you are a fresher, then you need to like be specific over here. Fine, so the points that you can consider is basically how you're going to manage your entire class. Okay, and there are different kids with different personalities, you know, different all of them, they have their own individuality, correct? And when you handle the entire class, you need to hold all of them up together, right? You guys, like, you should work like a team. Fine, so your class management over here is very important. Okay, your flexibility as a teacher okay, how flexible you are going to be, that can also be included. And class engagement, because these are kids, these are like basically their growing years, okay. So you need to have each and every kid of the class engaged into whatever lessons you're taking, whatever sessions you're delivering. Fine. So 3 points I can highlight for this particular answer: describe your teaching style, class engagement, okay, your flexibility, and then the overall management of the class. Fine. Moving ahead to the third question, tell me how you plan a lesson from start to finish. Fine. So this they can also evaluate on the basis of a demo session. Fine. Or you can just have a plan ready with you in your file, in your folders, okay. If you're a fresher, then obviously you need to work on it perfectly. If you have experience, then based on that you can give them an answer, okay. So I'll repeat again. Tell us, how do you plan a lesson from start to finish? That's what I said. As a teacher, it's very important that your lessons are planned. You have a vision when you enter the class. Fine. So that is the third question. Okay. Moving on to the fourth question. Tell us about your classroom management style. Fine. So this, in brief, you can tell them like, how do you plan on managing your classroom? Okay. Now, the same question can also be asked in a different way, and I'm going to read it out to you guys. How do you plan on managing the behavior of your students in a classroom? Fine. As I've just said, each student comes with a different personality, individuality, all of that you need to consider, okay. So you need to have a very strong answer over here. Fine. So basically the panel members are evaluating as a teacher, okay, how are you going to focus on each student present in your class. Fine. How are you going to help on building them as individuals for their coming future, okay. So that's why, how do you plan on managing your entire class, okay. So as a class teacher, this particular question, at least to me, seems like very, very important, and it can be like a governing factor in your interview. Okay. Now the fifth one is again essential, and the question is, how do you plan on communicating with the parents? Okay. So as a teacher, it is very essential that a teacher knows how he or she should communicate with the parents, okay. So here it's like a community which is built on trust. So it's you, the parents, and the kid or your student, right? So obviously the parents should be convinced that they and the teacher, you guys are a team, okay, and both of you all are working towards the development of the child, or for the best of the child. Fine. And this type of trust has to be built between the teacher and the parents, okay. So this is again very important. It can actually shape your interview in a good way, okay. So that was the fifth question. The sixth question is how would you how would your classroom look like, okay. So they can say like, as a panel member, if I just walk into your classroom, what would I see? Fine. So your entire classroom, how innovative it is, how it speaks in terms of knowledge, okay. How do you want the kids to be present in the classroom, okay. Like the kids should be discussing things with each other, or you can see the kids collaborating on different ideas, okay. How do you plan on building the enthusiasm of the kids? Fine. So this is also important. And obviously how the classroom, the vibe the classroom is going to carry, okay. A vibe would be like a casual word, but still, in terms of knowledge, how innovative the classroom would look, okay. So some teachers, like they like putting up quotes across their classrooms, certain charts which are informative, certain activities which on daily basis, when the student sees it, motivates them, boost up their confidence, all of those kind of things. Fine. So that was the sixth question. And the seventh one is the most important in recent times. How do you plan on using technology in your classroom? Okay, so this is very important in the current situations that we are living in. How do we plan on incorporating technology into a classroom? Okay. Also, we know that kids, they get distracted very fast, right? So if you're using like a presentation or something, how are you going to hold on to their concentration, or how you're going to make it playful yet knowledgeable. So you need to have your answers ready along that track. Fine. So these are the 7 questions which I wanted to discuss with you guys. And now coming to the bonus question. Okay, so this is basically on your experience. Fine. So the bonus question, it can have 2 ways. As I said, it's basically you need to give them an example of a lesson, fine, which was successful, okay, and an example of a lesson which was a complete failure. Fine. I will repeat again. So suppose you have delivered a lesson to a class. Fine. The panel members can ask you to give an example wherein your lesson was successful, and give an example wherein your lesson was a complete failure. Okay, now there is a sub question to this that is more important, is basically how did you know that the lesson was successful, and how did you know that the lesson was a failure. Okay, so here they're trying to evaluate you as an individual. How do you deal with your strengths and weaknesses? Okay, how do you accept your flaws? Like, suppose your lesson went bad, right? And you are accepting it that it was a failure, then you need to know why it went bad, correct? So you need to have a reason, like because of this it went bad, and then you need to be accepting, yeah, this is something that I need to work on. Okay, so these type of questions you can also expect. Fine. Like what are in a good way, like with an example. So you give them the example and you give them your analysis, like this is what I did and that's why it was a success, this is what I did and that's why it was a failure. And if it was something like what example you're giving them, how have you actually planned on improving that particular trait, or how do you plan on making that failure into success. Okay, so this was the bonus question that I wanted to discuss with you guys. And that's it for today's video. So all my future teachers, all the best. If you guys are having an interview real up soon, it can be like a walk-in or an online interview, can't really say in times like these. It might as well be an online interview, but whatever it is, all the best. And thank you so much for watching. And if you guys are new here, then please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you did like it, and share it with your friends and family or whoever else you think it might be helpful to. And all the best if you guys are having an interview, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.